Evening.
Good afternoon, friends.
Hello, hello.
This is my friend, Ritchie, aka Longman Trudeau.
Don't know why that makes me laugh still.
I don't know. Well, it's the funniest story ever. That's why. We were just talking backstage about that story, and I don't know how many of you know or how many of you care, but I first heard of Ritchie going on with Allie from Heart and Soul Connected, and I emailed her and I was like, "Oh my God, I think he could be my cousin." And she was like, "What?" So I was just telling Ritchie that story backstage. Again, we were talking about like where I have both sides of my family came from England, and I have family currently that live in England, and vicariously through my father's side of the family, I'm getting to know the place where my mother's side of the family, my great grandfather came from. Which is just a really interesting coinkydink, I would call it. And I have a cousin named Ritchie Long. And so when Ritchie Longman Trudeau popped up, I was like, oh, my relative. No.
Sad, well, possibly long distant, way back in the past, there could be some. No.
Yeah, well.
I like to think so, Kelly. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it though? I would be okay being your relative. Would you?
I'd be happy
would
with
you
that.
be all right with it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, really, what's he supposed to say, friends? Right? No.
Oh, exactly. Well, I keep coming on your channel. It's something's got to be working. Something's got to be. We've got to like each other that way.
And we're wearing the same color today.
We are. I changed
didn't coordinate that,
and I've got varnish that kind of matches your background.
Wow, look at you. And we didn't even coordinate this.
No, it's all synchronicity kicking in.
Right. Actually, your varnish matches the background. Do you like that?
I do like that.
I did that just for you. No. So, good afternoon, friends. Welcome, everybody, to Dozen Cats chat, or Cards and Chat, I think I called it, with Longman Trudeau. I just want to say, first and foremost, that I appreciate all of you being here. I want to say thank you to everyone for all of your love and your support and your prayers and good wishes. Excuse me. Towards my sister. The update is she's still in hospital. She had a little bit of a setback a couple of days ago, and now they're considering the possibility of doing surgery. So please continue to keep her in your thoughts and your prayers. And I'm ever so grateful for the love and the support that the community has sort of put out. And I mean, honestly, touched me in a way that I didn't expect. And I don't want to cry, but I just wanted to say thank you for that. So with that being said, we are still in the month of February. It has been the longest month ever. And I feel. And the month of February here at Dozen Cats is all about matters of the heart. And when I originally invited Ritchie, my thought was to discuss blessings. In terms of when you're having a rough patch, like I'm going through with my sister, to remember that we all have things to be grateful for, that we all have blessings in our life. And to not discount those blessings, to not allow ourselves to go to the "oh, my life sucks" kind of mode. For me personally, with having anxiety, that's been a challenge that I have met, and I'm happy to report that I'm doing really well. I'm like 90% there this week. Although this challenge with my sister has tested my anxiety, but I'm still on the positive side of things, and so. I feel like I can talk about that from a personal experience sort of standpoint. So as we navigate the chat, that's kind of like what I'd like to talk about.
Lovely. I'm up for that.
And of course, I have all kinds of cards. How about you? Do you have all kinds of cards out in front of you, my love?
Oh, just the odd deck or three. Well, you know me, Kelly. I've always got a deck to hand. Yeah, so if we need to throw a few cards around, I'm all ready and all up for that.
I love that. I love it that you're prepared. Kristen Louise says, major blessing today. My mother was accepted into a much nicer nursing home. I get to move her in tomorrow. That is fabulous news, Kristen. That is wonderful news for your mom, for your whole entire family. And it's such a sense of, peace for you to know that your mom is in a good care facility and going to get the best care and be looked after. It's like that peace of mind kind of thing that you can't really put a price on that, right?
No, absolutely not.
Let's say hello to some friends.
Let's say hello.
Let's do it. Lynn Hayes is in the house. Hello. I don't know who this guy is. Have you seen him before? No.
He just keeps following us around though, doesn't he? Hi, Gerald.
Trying to shake him, can't do it. Gerald will be on with me on Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern for chat and cards, or cards and chat, with the S team. Very original, Kelly. So we have the Soul Sisters, we have Spirit Intuitive, and we have the Stash.
Fabulous. And of course, I don't know why I did that movement then, but I felt it was needed for the Soul Sisters.
Yeah. Actually, I believe only one of the Soul Sisters is going to make it. Sonia's sort of taking a bit of a break, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope that you all can tune in. Joan B is in the house.
Hi, Joan.
Hip City is here.
Hi, Hip City.
Present and accounted for. Of course, Kristen Louise is in the house.
Yeah, hi again. Hi again, yeah.
You're high again? What? No.
Well, I was live this morning, this morning. So, and it was about 7:30 Eastern time. I suddenly thought, let's do a walkthrough of a deck, because I spent hours trying to set this thing up to record a video, and I just gave up. So I thought it's so much easier doing it live. So I quickly scheduled a live, and I was like, well, it's 7:30 Eastern time. No one's going to want to watch me go through. But there were people there coming in, chatting, which was lovely. And I really enjoyed myself. And it's so much better than having to film hours of video of walking through and talking to an empty camera. So hi again.
It's really hard, isn't it? Sometimes.
I hate doing it now. I have to be honest. Doing things live is so much better for me.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Esther G is in the house, and we thank her for being here.
Hi, Esther.
Mama Bear is in the house. Hello, Mama Bear. What else is going on? Oh, Mama Bear would like a reading. Mm-hmm. City would like something. Please connect me to my guides. Jules 1280 is in the house. Hello, Jules.
Hi, Jules.
Welcome. Oh, Lynn Hayes says, my sister is in the hospital too, 1,100 miles away. It's so hard. Absolutely, Lynn. We send you and your sister our prayers and our blessings. My sister is it's like a 2.5 hour drive away from me. And can I just tell you guys, yesterday I was going to go to the hospital. And we've got a new puppy. So the puppy was sick all over the place. My husband came home with a migraine. We were going to have to take the puppy with us to the hospital because I don't leave the house and I don't drive. I haven't driven a long distance in a long time by myself. And I thought I could do it. My husband was like, no, it's okay. Regardless, he would have had to come home to look after the puppy because she's like 10 weeks old and she's only been here for like 7 days at this point, right? So moving on. So then my anxiety got the better of me. My husband had the migraine. The dog was sick. And I was just like, okay, I don't need any more signs than that. I'll just stay put. Thank you very much. So I'm like, I'm not coming yet. And then we decided to go and, got ourselves ready, got the dog in the truck and the food and the blankets and the toys and the everything. And we're on the road driving down. And I text my sister, say we're on our way. And she's like, I'm in a little bit of pain. I'm exhausted. Don't bother coming. I was like, okay. So I have to try to make another trip down there. But we are now, of course, because that's the way it goes, friends, we are now expecting between 15 to 25 centimeters of snow, freezing cold temperatures, freezing rain, high winds, power outages.
Oh, Kelly.
So I'm here.
That's a lot to deal with. So
I'm like, I'm being tested.
Exactly. We'll come through it.
Oh yes, we will get through it together.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get through it together. Absolutely, Joan. Okay, Travel. It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Joan B's like, wow, Kelly, that's a lot. I'm sorry.
It is.
Thank you, Joan. Well, I mean, it is what I'm not trying to be smart when I say this. When I say it is what it is, what I mean is, what we were discussing backstage, and what I mentioned is what I want to do in terms of sort of navigating this chat, and that is this. It is a lot. Mm. But I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I've got all of you, and I've got my family, and I've got the love of like this new puppy and my kitty cats, and like I'm good. You know what I mean? My sister's okay in terms of like we're communicating with each other. It's not like I can't speak to her. There are a lot of things to be grateful for.
You have a lot of wonderful things in your toolbox to help you get through it. Yeah. And it's quite often you have to delve deep into that box to pull out things that you'd forgotten you had in there, but there's always something in the toolbox to help.
Absolutely, my friend. And to that point, I say, we're all about filling up our spiritual toolbox here at Dozen Cats, right? Every piece of information, every tip, every topic that we cover, there's something in it for pretty much everyone. And as long as your spiritual toolbox is filling up, you can always turn to it. And I sort of feel like you can always find something to lean on, right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely. I'm just loving it. SPG, I've got you started, my friend. Thank you so much. And Lynn says, thank you, Kelly, and prayers for you and your sister too. Might we have a reading also? I've got you started, my friend. Mama Bear is saying that it snowed this morning and she posted her pictures on Instagram. I'll have to check that out. JR is in the house. Hello, my friend. How are you? Karen Johnson is in the house. Thank you, Karen, for being here. Kristen Louise says, it can be so hard to remember the good things when there are other things that are bad, but it is important to not lose sight of the lucky things and blessings.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very hard to... Sometimes you can just feel so encapsulated and in such a vacuum by it that you just have to just put your head down and keep going. And then there'll be that little light, that little chink, and things start to fall back into place again. We've all been there. We've all had it happen.
Oh, yes.
And the older you get, the more you realize that this is just a cycle, and, there will be.
That's very true. You do sort of lean on your experience as you get older, knowing like this too shall pass, that whole kind of vibe. I just got the total chills. I don't know if I'm freezing or if I just the spirit's like telling me something. I don't know what it is. Because it's cold here, friends. It's getting colder by the minute. But that whole going to the negative thing, right? Like what Kristen's saying. I took CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, when I was in all of my therapy for years. And that's really about changing your way of thinking. Mm-hmm. And it is about, it is really like what I call a five of cups moment, in terms of, the 3 cups are on the ground, the 2 cups are still standing upright. And you have now this option that's presented to you, right? That where you could look at those 3 and be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Or you can look at the 2 and think like, how am I going to make the best of this situation?
Yeah.
Depending on where you are, where your mind is, the other things that are going on around you, maybe even your environment, your support system, all of those things. You can, not to be trite, but find the silver lining in that, find the blessing in that, turn that around so it's not half empty, but more half full. And I've had to work really hard, meaning consistently, consecutively, and constantly at flipping those thoughts around in my mind so that they come out more positive, so that I don't immediately be like, fine, whatever, because the anxiety that I have will send me right to a position of fear. Like I'll bypass even just like, well, of course this is happening to me.
Yeah.
And I will go right to fear, and I will become fearful of it and sort of curl up in a ball. And that's no way to live your life.
No.
Right.
No.
I love that. Esther G says balance. Yes, Esther. Balance. Brazilian Baby is here. Hello, Brazilian Baby. Good afternoon, collective. I like that.
That's nice.
Lovely way to enter a room, isn't it?
Yeah. Should try that more often.
I should. Do you have a thing that you say when you come into a chat?
Into a chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always go, hello, Tarot Lovelies. I always put that in. And I don't know why, but it's kind of my introduction. And I don't know where that came from.
Well, we all have one, right? I mean, if I could hook myself up to fanfare and be like, dun 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 dun, Kelly.
Yeah. A loud round of applause as you enter the chat room like that. Yeah.
Actually, what would be fun? I would love to have a ding dong, like a doorbell. Like, ding dong, Kelly's here. Wouldn't that be fun?
Love it.
I think YouTube, if you're listening YouTube, you should work on that.
Yeah, an announcement or a fanfare or fireworks going off.
Fireworks, that would be fun. Well, just like when we come live, I would love like a screen to lift up and the lights start flashing around. You know how they do. We could have ushers, people taking people to their seats.
Love
it could be lovely. Sorry, friends, I'm a little cray-cray today. I apologize. So, Ritchie.
Mm-hmm.
What time of the day is it there?
It's 7:20 in the evening.
7:20.
And it's raining.
And it's raining. Well, it's 2:20 here and it's snowing, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one of us we should feel sorry for. All right, friends. So listen, here's what I want to do. I'm going to say what I'm grateful for. What's a blessing that I have. I hope that Ritchie can give us one, and I would love it if you all could share something that you're feeling blessed by today, and then we will get on with some ratings.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks ago now, I started a new segment here on Dozen Cats called The Journal Entry. It's very, very creative, very high tech. It was just me and my thoughts. And it fell under the umbrella of what, matters of the heart. And I had asked in a live chat or in a community post, I can't remember which, or maybe both, if people would mind sharing with me what matters to their heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, well, I asked everybody else, I should do the same. And so I started. So this is just me and my thoughts, and it's just, you can't see me, you can just see me writing, right? And I have, what matters to my heart. And what matters to my heart is peace and contentment, the feeling of peace and contentment. And that is something that I have strived to achieve over the last 10, almost 11 years now, because I've been missing it, right? I've been missing that feeling of just everything's fine, right? Mm-hmm. Because I've been in full panic mode for 11 years, and due to the anxiety. And as I was writing that, I had this speech pattern that I was doing, and then all of a sudden I was just like, oh my God, I've already achieved that. Mm. I'm tearing up again. Mm-hmm. I have told this story to umpteen people on umpteen different occasions, and it still feels as impactful as it did in the moment when I recognized that I'd already done that.
Yeah.
And so my blessing is that I had that moment to share that with everyone as well as myself. And then I would like to say, like, ... to be continued to the next thought is, check in with yourself.
Mm.
Because sometimes we're just getting so busy doing things, doing life, that we don't get quiet and sort of like, how are you doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand that.
And I'm so grateful that for whatever reason that I was led to do that in that moment, because it's not been lost on me. It's been like 2 weeks and I'm still feeling the, wow, how powerful that is. How relieved I feel that I can say I actually did that. I accomplished that. And just, I mean, I'm illuminated because of it. I'm kind of like off the ground. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm feeling, the blessing from that exercise, and I'm most grateful for that realization and the relief that it brought to me in that realization.
Yeah, that's very empowering.
Well, thank you, my friend. I tried.
No, I just love that, Kelly. I love the fact that even 2 weeks on, it's still, you can tell from your voice and your emotions, you can see how important that is and how wonderful.
It's a beautiful thing, my friend. It really is.
Mm.
When I joined this community, I never thought in a million years that, how people say, like, oh, just if you just start breathing in a certain pattern, you could lose 40 pounds. You're like, yeah, sure. Maybe for everyone. You know what I mean? Like if you're a non-believer, if you don't understand, if you've never been exposed to spiritual things, it might kind of sound like a bit of mumbo jumbo to you. And I was interested. I was listening. I don't know that I was taking any of it in. I know that I felt embraced by the community in terms of the chat. They were lovely, and they lifted me up and were very supportive and welcoming to me, and sort of, I don't know, held my hand along the way. And it's because of the people in the chat that I met along the way that I stayed. I have to be honest about that.
Oh, the community. And I mean, we often band around the term the community. Without thinking about the strength, the power, the linkage, the friendship that's there. And it's so powerful. I do a thing called the Glastonbury Unity Candle. I'm an ambassador. I don't know if I've told you this before. The Glastonbury Unity Candle holds a minute silence for peace and unity around the world at 9 o'clock British time every night of the year. Beautiful. And as an ambassador, people from all around the world. We've got people in South Africa, a couple of people in America, a few people from around the Glastonbury and Wales area, and there's me that does it as well. And for 10 minutes, we just hold space on Facebook. It's a Facebook Live thing. And every night I connect with people who I check in with on a regular basis. Never actually probably meet them. There's a couple of them I have met in real life, but there's people in Germany, there's people, as I say, in the States, all around this globe, and just that feeling of being silent and sitting for 1 minute, thinking about healing, thinking about putting your problems to one side and sending our thanks and healing to other people is such a powerful thing, and it's one of the best things that I've decided to do for a very long time. And this reminds me of it, that whole community getting together for that, creating that space.
Well, I think that's a phenomenal experience to be a part of. I mean, just once, never mind on a nightly basis. Secondly, thank you for sharing that with us, because Teresa just wrote something in the chat here and said, where two or more are gathered together, there is power. And hello, Teresa, by the way. Thank you for being here, my friend. We oftentimes forget, it takes a village. there are, we are stronger together. I say that quite often.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would be here literally or physically if it wasn't for this community embracing me the way that they did when I first came in the chat. And I have said many times, and I'm not saying this to blow sunshine up anyone's skirt, I'm saying it because I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I wear the badge of a chatter like I won a medal. It is a phenomenal thing that occurs in that chat, and literally saying hello to someone can change someone's life.
Yes.
So don't ever stop doing that. Don't ever stop sharing. Don't ever stop caring. Don't ever stop supporting and showing people love and embracing them the way that the chat can only do. Sometimes I think the chat is where it's at in terms of it's not even really about what's going on the screen, even though that can be powerful at times. The chat is what carries it, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Absolutely.
So yeah, don't ever stop doing that. Thank you to everyone who's popping in. Yeah. Woo! Look at all the people. Yay. Kristen Louise says, absolutely. Being seen by others is so powerful. Kay Travel says, love you, Kelly. Love right back to everybody. Catherine W is in the house. Hello, 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 my friend. Teresa Ford, as I said, is here. Miss Miriam is here. She is grateful for her sons and their families and her warm home. Wind chill is minus 23 there. Well, friend, I send you my love and warmth because that's cold.
That's cold.
That is cold. Oh, hello, Sylvia Hanks. Thank you for being here, my friend. Sorry, it's like Ritchie's not even here. I'm just like going on.
I'm loving reading people's comments.
Kristen Louise says it's important to have grace for people who suffer from major depressive disorder. I'm in remission, but when I was depressed, nothing could shine a light in that dark. I couldn't push through it. Well said, my friend. I try so hard to continue to shine whatever light I have to shine because I sort of feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. One of the worst parts about my personal experience with being diagnosed with anxiety is the judgment, the shame, and the blame that's associated. And for all the people out there that are, may say, well, that could be just your experience, Kelly. You're right. It could be my experience. Think about Prince Harry. Did you like how I just tied that back to England? That was good, right? Prince Harry, despite what people have been saying, despite the criticism, despite the attitude towards his decision to remove himself, still felt it important to speak his truth. That takes a lot of courage, knowing before you even say so that people are going to criticize you, people are going to judge you, and people are going to make assumptions. I think it is absolutely despicable that people think that because he was born a prince, or because he has Windsor as his last name, or because his mom was Princess Diana, or because he has money, that somehow that means he has no mental health issues. The boy was 12 and walked behind his mother's casket. That damages people for life.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't care what your last name is. And the man came out and spoke his truth because he was trying to give a voice to all of those people that suffer in silence. And many people that have mental health disorders suffer in silence because they are blamed, they are shamed. And it's like if you don't have, like a hearing aid,
yeah,
then you don't really have a hearing disability. It's kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think it goes even, I mean, not further, but deeper. I've noticed since the pandemic, and this is just me, is that people are generally unkinder to people because they're very used to being keyboard warriors. They'll sit behind their screens typing what they think, and the social media means that they can do that. However, they forget that when they're in reality, it's not okay to sometimes do that. It's not okay to voice your opinion, or at least wait to hear, the other side of the conversation. Something happened to me the other day. I'm going to tell you about it if that's okay. And it's really got me thinking about it. I was going for a walk over the area where a lovely piece of natural countryside, and there's a really posh golf course that I have to go around. And I'm always very, very conscious of the fact it's their ground and that there's these public footpaths that go that way. But I was doing a new walk, and there was a signpost, and I wasn't quite sure whether I had to go a path up the hill or a path along the side. So I went along the flat bit first. I didn't want to go right up the hill to realise I had to come down again and go around again. I was being a bit lazy. And it soon became quite clear that this path that I'd taken was to other holes on this golf course.
Right.
And as soon as I kind of realised where I was, I stopped for a little minute just to get my bearing on that. And there was a group of 4 or 5 men playing golf who saw that I was a little bit not quite sure where I was, and I wasn't walking on a golf course, I wasn't walking on their greens. Shouted, "Oi, this is a golf course." And I went, "Okay, thank you. I realised I made my mistake like that." And I started walking back along the path, and they shouted really loudly, "Oi, tosser," at me as I was walking away.
Wow.
And firstly, I just thought, right, because I've been doing a lot of reading and preparation for this, I just went, I'm not accepting that. I'm just letting that one go. I could have shouted back. I could have gone round. Right. In the old days, I would have gone down and shouted something back equally as abusive. I decided not to do that and walked away. But it did just play on my mind for the whole day, even though I tried my very best to let it go. I was thinking, what right have they to shout something like that? Yeah. Okay, it was, I'm going to use the word camaraderie. They were blokes with expensive golf clubs being blokes. That's no excuse for it. I'm not making an excuse for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm one person that obviously is out for a walk, obviously has got lost. What was in their mind that they thought that was a good thing to shout? What benefit did it do? And I still, I can't get an answer for that one. And that's why I'm talking about this kind of whole idea of people just pushing the boundaries from being those keyboard warriors, from being those people who put opinions out, to actually doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it really quite shocked me, not only that incident, but this kind of build-up of people's
I have a like small theory, and I don't know if I'm right or not. I think that people, I'm generalizing, right, may confuse speaking your truth with just however I feel today. In that moment, at that particular second, when X happened to Y.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not what speaking your truth is. That's not what it's meant to do. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, and my other theory is that there's no accountability anymore.
No.
So you can say what you want, you can do what you want, you can yell tosser at someone and be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's
because what are you going to do to me?
It's interesting because in hindsight, and I probably would have never have done this because I decided to take that approach, just to walk away, not even turn around and acknowledge it. And I actually said to myself, I'm just not accepting that one. It's being packaged and it's being dumped in my mental, my brain, where my dump, where I'd get rid of stuff that I don't even open up. It's an unwanted present and I'm not touching it. That was the kind of attitude I was going down there. And then a couple of hours later, when I was still mulling this one over, I thought, I wonder what had happened if I'd actually just stopped, turned round and marched straight up to them and just had a conversation.
Well, I think they would have been shocked to find you so articulate, because obviously I feel like their opinion of you was
Yeah,
extremely
yeah,
judgmental and very low,
exactly,
obviously.
exactly.
But I think what you can take away from that, and hopefully may help you to sort of, I try really hard not to look at something this way. I try to like go up over it
Yeah.
and look down, putting a little bewitched spin on it, being a bird's eye. How low their self-esteem must be that they would have to attack a stranger
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
bring you down, to boost themselves up.
Yeah. Oh, I've realised all of that. I've thought that process through, but actually, and I hadn't thought about it anymore until you talked about this idea, and I was thinking of this kind of popped into my mind. The fact that that people can do this and not have, as you say, there's no responsibility behind their actions on it, because they can hide behind a screen or hide within a group of people. Well, and I find that alarming. And
it is. It's totally alarming. I mean, you take, for example, the Prince Harry example. The hatred towards Meghan, I mean, his wife, it just it astounds me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how you could. First of all, I don't understand people that throw that word around. And when people are, when they say it and they mean it, you know what I mean? I don't know how. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe this is not going to be a popular opinion, but I got too many things in my own life going on. I don't really have that much energy to put towards what the hell Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are doing. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I don't give a crap. No offense. I want them to be, like, do you have a great life? I'm thrilled for you. Like,
but again, that's possibly the problem with immediate gratification through social media. We're constantly getting fed. I was talking about this morning, one of the tarot decks. That constant alarms, breaking news going off, is that we've got very quick at picking up lots and lots and lots of bits of snippets of information. And believing the sources and the experts, and I'm going to use the word expert, who feed us more information, possibly more lies or more information. And we become very used to taking it on board and not questioning it.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so Kristen says, mean people can ruin my week.
Yeah.
Right. Teresa says, I think people feel that ugly inside and it comes out when they're slightly irritated. 100%.
Good point. Yeah.
She says misery not only loves company, it also tries to drag you down to it.
Absolutely.
For real. Hypnocity says it reminds me of how they treated Yoko Ono. I'm not familiar with how Yoko Ono was treated, but I can think of a handful of examples, sadly, of people that I feel have sort of been treated in this, just like derogatory, negative way. And I'm sort of thinking of like famous people, right? Like people whose names are recognized. Just cause. Like just cause. Like,
absolutely.
Michael Jackson, for example. And I'm not talking about, the allegations. I'm talking about his children who, like, honestly, I don't know about you all, but I don't care who their real dad is or who the real mom is or any of that nonsense. They're Michael Jackson's kids. That's all I need to know. Get on with it. I got more important things to do. Do you know what I mean? I'm not spending my Friday afternoon researching the thing. I don't understand. And then I'm going to take it one step further to the point that you were bringing up. When people get into one of those back and forths on social media, right? And all of a sudden they're an expert on the topic, no matter what the topic is. And like they keep coming back.
They'll have read someone that proves the fact that, that exactly. Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness. Like, gosh, maybe you should get a hobby. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be. I hope that's not offensive, but like maybe you should get a hobby. Like,
it's interesting what makes people do that, and
yeah. Well,
it's
I mean,
almost like
think
they
about
have
it.
to
If you
have
put,
the last word in something like that, or the
yeah,
whole.
I mean, if you think about the amount of energy that person took to do that back and forth, like, my God, like, put it into a savings program and you'd be rich. You know what I mean? You could go on the vacation. I mean, like, I just, learn how to macrame or something. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. It's a lot, right?
Absolutely. But actually, and let's turn this back onto itself,
Yeah.
is that in the past, I have found myself getting caught in those little rabbit holes of going down, and we all have. Let's be honest. We'll follow a conversation and track it and track it and track it. Now I've just said, no, I'm not going down. I'm not getting on this bus. I will use that time, that energy for something that I feel is creative or betters myself.
100%, and well said, my friend. I actually left Facebook personally for that reason, because I was getting arguments all over the place by saying to people, like, you need to chill out, like, you need to calm down. Like, I can't believe you're that invested in something that's happening about some person in some other part of the country that you don't even know. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so good advice from my friend Ritchie. Lauren Hunsinger is in the house. Thank you, Lauren, for being
Hi,
here.
Lauren.
She says, I make requests daily for an increase in emotional wisdom and an ending to all of the emotional insecurity. Those that act like that live in constant fear, whether they know it or not. 100%. And well said, Lauren. Thank you for sharing that. Voxy Roxy is in the house. And she says, we should not be concerned with anyone but ourselves and how we act towards other. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
So on the bottom of all of that, I think that we have sort of reminded ourselves, and I think that might be helpful, right? That if we just keep that sort of at the forefront of our mind, to not be judgy.
Yeah.
Or to know that when we have maybe stepped over that line and been like a little too judgy, to sort of turn that mirror around and go, okay, like, Kelly, why do you feel the need to pick on that person's outfit, for example? Do you know what I mean? Like, what about that outfit makes you feel like you got something to say about it? Oh, because they look better in green with purple polka dots than you do? Well, maybe you should work on that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lesson.
Interestingly, the on what happened after that incident, about an hour later, I went for a lovely walk, and I sat and I meditated, and I tried to clear all the negativity. Every person I met on this walk, and it was a very miserable, blowy, cold day, but there were a few people out walking. I decided I was going to stop, and I was going to be pleasant and say good morning to them and have a little bit of a conversation. And I just felt I need to balance the energies of that negativity by being even more positive.
I love that. That's excellent. I mean, that's one of those, that's like you turn that situation not only on its head, but you also made it a learning lesson for yourself, right?
Yeah.
In terms of how you're going to counteract. So when you have a bad day, you then send out the love to everyone else, and it is returned to you tenfold, because hopefully while you continue your walk and you said good morning and how are you and lovely day or whatever, people were responding back to you with smiles or kind eyes or conversation, and all of a sudden it puts a little pep in your step. You know what I mean? Because you're feeling like it's great. This is just beautiful. Best day ever.
Yeah.
I love that. Foxy Roxy says it is not so hard to be a good person. Well, no, I'm kidding. It's a challenge. No, I like it. Hypnocity says, my mom taught me to take the good with the bad. Excellent advice. Excellent advice. Lauren Hunsinger agrees. Teresa Ford says, I guess we need to pray for everyone to heal and be lifted emotionally. I mean, that's the thing, right? We all have our stuff in our closet. You know what I mean? We all got the stuff. And no one is above that.
No.
And it's so much easier. And we've all said this. It's so much easier if Ritchie, my friend, says to me, "Oh my gosh, Kelly, I've got, this situation happening. What should I do?" I'm like, I got all kinds of tips and advice. The exact same situation happened to me, I'd be like, I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
Because it's me. So we're really good at looking at other people's stuff. And
I'm brilliant at it, solving other people's problems. I can't do it myself.
Exactly. Well, because we're involved. That's why, right? Oh my gosh, Lisa's stuck in an elevator for an hour. Oh, and Rosie is up. Ooh. Yikes. Hypno City says smiles and kindness are free. Yeah, we're glad that you're out, Lise. Maruda is here. Foxy Roxy says, I knew someone who would always criticize, and I always told her that I say a prayer for them instead in case they are going through something difficult. But for the grace of God, there go I. Yeah. I used to have a best friend. I had my best friend for like 10 or 12 years. And all of a sudden, like, I was oblivious to it, because I was used to the behavior. When we became friends, we were like school children. We were like 10 years old. And all of a sudden, I was in my 20s, and I was just like, what is your issue? Like, I don't think you've ever asked me how I am. It was all like me. And I was like, just like, ooh, yuck. Like, why am I your friend? And put some personal boundaries up and walked away from that. All right. So my dog, my new little puppy.
I was going to say, he's got up and moved.
Yes. And we're not happy about that. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Did you wake up? Did you have a good little snooze? Did you have a good snooze? Yeah, you're not happy, are you? No, you're not happy at all. No, you're not happy. Come up. Come.
I'm going to say hello. Oh.
So this is Rose.
Hi, Rose.
And she's all of 6 pounds. Yeah. She is a Maltese mix. They think poodle. So that would make her a multi-poo. And she's a miniature, so she's only going to be about 20 pounds full grown. She's 10 weeks old, and she is a firecracker, friends. Don't tell her no. Like, she's fine until you tell her no. And then she's got an attitude problem, don't you? But we will work on it. We will work on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will work on it. Do you think that you can sit on mommy's lap and be a good girl? Well, mommy does some readings. What do you think? Yeah, chances are
that's probably not going to happen,
Kelly, but it's okay because the door is closed, so she can't really get into anything. Yeah. Right? Although she can stand at the door, scratch and squawk. So I'll mute myself if that occurs. Right? Did you tell everyone how you don't really like the cats? You're not a fan.
Oh no.
Well, that's okay because the cats aren't fans of her either. So Austin has tried to bond. She has tried to bond with Austin. They bond from a distance, so that's okay. Charlotte and Quincy just keep staring at her. Like, they come out, at nights, as cats do, and they just kind of look at her like from outside of the crate, like, what are you doing? No.
What are you strange new arrival? Are you cats or what are you? You look like a cat.
That's a good girl. Oh my goodness, you're a good girl. Tell everybody you had your bath. Oh my goodness, yes. So here in the shelter, when you rescue a pet, they spay or neuter them because they're trying to control the population of unwanted animals. And so she had her surgery, and so they wear like either a cone or like what they call a onesie so that the dogs, don't get any bacteria or infection. And so to celebrate, she had her first bath.
Yeah.
That was hysterical. And now we literally have a fuzzball. It's like she's 1 pound dog, 5 pounds of fluff. What are you doing? You want down?
Oh.
Okay. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Rose. What a cutie.
So we called her Rose because we name all of our pets after places.
Yeah.
Whoop. And there is a place called Rose, Wisconsin, apparently.
Lovely.
Never heard of Michigan, it. I can't remember which. And we got her the day before Valentine's Day, so it seemed perfect.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
Well, Can you let go? Whoop. You're on my wrist. Whoop, that's going to fall on your head. It's only styrofoam. It's all good. Okay. Oh, hi, Mackenzie. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you. And Karen Johnson is here. I apologize. All right, let's get on with some reading, shall we? And I want to say that we already have 6, so I think we're good for that. So Mama Bear would like a mini read. All right, don't start squawking. Don't start squawking. No one's going to love you a whole lot when they start hearing you yapping. Her bark is spectacular. Just saying. It's that high-pitched little bark. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So how old is Rose?
She's just turned 10 weeks old.
So she's still got baby teeth then. You've got the joy of
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
Sharp, aren't they?
The other night, she literally took my husband's Crocs, you know, like those, the sort of sandally kind of things, and took them into her and just went to town on them. And I was like, I don't know how she lifted them up. They're the size of her. Right? One by one dragged them in. Excuse me. Okay, so Catherine will star you, and Lisa, I'll star you, and then that's it. Hey. Sorry. Richie, go ahead whenever you're ready. I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear me hollering out.
Okay, so it's Mama Bear. Mama Bear, I pulled you some cards. I couldn't stop myself. I normally pull 1 card, but I've gone for 3. This is from the Desney deck. I can't say that. Desney deck. So it's kind of quite fairy tale, and you've got the Page of Swords, and you've also got the Star card with those ones there. Lovely cards, Mama Bear. I'm wondering if you are in a process where you are thinking things through, because the Star card's about hope and determination and being on the right path and feeling that you know where you're going to be heading. And the Page of Swords would suggest that there's been a lot of thought and a lot of trying out ideas that's going on with it here. I've also pulled you an oracle card, which is a goddess card, and it's the goddess Pele. These are wonderful because they fit together really nicely with the illustrations of this deck there. And Pele is about determination, and that's the sense that I'm getting with these other 2 cards, is that you know what you need to do. You can see, if you like, the final destination to get to. Now it's about the process of getting there, and keep determined, because you will get there. Follow that star, because it leads to a really good place for you.
Those are beautiful cards, Richie.
Thank you very much.
Mama Bear, this is what I got for you, sort of along what Richie got. So I start out, hopefully you guys can see this because I can't get any closer to the camera. I apologize. We've got the 8 of water. Or the 8 of cups. So, you know, like walking away from something that no longer serves you, not because you don't want to do it, not because something bad happened. It's just not really doing it for you anymore, right? Yeah, you're searching for something different. That's sort of like the energy coming in from the past. Your current vibe is like you're feeling, like Richie said, you know what you want, right? You're feeling sort of generous and successful. And so what I mean by that is like you're open to it, right? You're feeling like the King of Earth is showing up here. So you're feeling like you could like start a new business, start some sort of new project. You're feeling like you know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly how you need to do it. And what I got on the bottom of the deck is the 10 of air. So you're feeling very stressed by this. So I don't know if there's something about this project that you're doing that reminds you of something else that happened, in terms of you've got like failure on the mind, right? Like if you had a negative experience prior, you may stop yourself from having this new opportunity because of something that happened in the past. And so you'll want to be able to release any of those negative thoughts. The oracle card that I pulled for you is the flow of the river, right? This came up in my daily reading today. Flow isn't about easygoing, right? Flow is about being able to navigate the obstacles in the water, the logs, the rocks, the waterfalls, the dips, the curves, right? And to be able to navigate that in a way that you know that when you get beyond it, you're still going to be okay. It's about having the tools in the toolbox that we talked about earlier, sort of at your disposal to help you as you navigate, right? It's about being easygoing, right? Like in other words, every step is part of the journey, right? Instead of focusing on the outcome. So I don't know if that helps or not, but that's what I got.
Sense as well. Sorry, jumping in. I was getting a sense as well. This is something that may have happened, as you said, Kelly, has happened before. And it's almost like you've now broken the rhythm of the cycle. And now you have to go with that flow. As you said, there's obstacles along the way, but now you're determined you're going to get there and you're not going to go back into the old routine, so to speak. So I feel really positive about this for you.
I know, me too. It's beautiful. Can I help you? It's just like, what's happening? I've never done this before. Okay. Thank you, Mama Bear, for asking the question.
Thank you, Mama Bear.
My friend. All right, Hypnocity, please connect me to my guides today.
Okay.
1-800 Hypnocity's guides. Could you pick up, please? No, I'm kidding. All right. Moving on. The questions are closed right now, Lucille, but thank you very much for being here and for asking. I appreciate that. I'm not sure how you get rid of the emojis or how you got them on there, if that makes sense.
I don't know that. I can't help you there.
You're welcome, Mama Bear. Hopefully that resonates with you. You're not loving the shuffle, eh? Do you want to pick a card for Hypnocity? You can pick a card, just don't lick them, okay?
Or chew them.
Because then they'll stick together. And, oh, listen, my cat already ate, like, everyone knows that story. I put a positivity board up, put some affirmations on sticky notes. My cat ate them all. So my cat's super positive. All right, here we go. You ready?
I'm just...
No, not you. I was talking to Rose. Sorry, I apologize.
Okay. Shall I go? I'm ready to go.
Absolutely, love. Go for it. All right.
Well, I pulled you an oracle card from the Goddess Love. I've never got the box to show you, but the Goddess Love oracle, which is a beautiful oracle, and I've been using it the whole of autumn and winter. I'm about to change up to Wendy's other deck, which is more spring and summer. And I've got the card of generosity, be the divine flow of goddess nature. Okay, see that one up there. Beautiful. So I pulled a tarot card to see what we can do to connect you a bit more to this. So, I mean, be the divine flow of goddess nature. The generosity here suggests that you're the one, as we talked about a little bit earlier, that you're the one that has the ability to go round and spread the joy, spread the positivity, spread all of that. And I suppose that's what the focus is for the day. I've also pulled you a tarot card, and you got the Ace of Cups, a beautiful card to start talking about dealing with emotions and happiness. And it's a bit like this is your hand here. You've got that cup in your hand, and you now have the ability to pass on the positivity to other people. You know, invite them to drink deep from the cup of enjoyment and go and give some advice and just listen to people. A bit like we were talking about earlier, Kelly.
I'm having the time of my life over here. This is hysterical. What's happening? You guys can only see the top of her head. If you can see what she's doing, she's literally like picking the cards out. Oh, hello.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay. So Hypnocity, this is what I've got for you. I pulled a tarot card. Whoops. We've got the King of Pentacles showing up again. So, the King of Pentacles, right? He's the guy who wants to provide the stable foundation, the happy sort of environment in which people can excel. He is the guy who wants to be the provider. He wants to be the one that provides the security and the safety to everyone. It makes him happy to have others happy around him. On the bottom of the deck, you've got the Five of Cups, right? So the Five of Cups is what? It's crying over spilt milk. It's a ritual release. It's an opportunity to heal. And, that doesn't mean that you're going through something necessarily. It just means that, it's a new moon and perhaps you're setting intentions and getting ready to release things, which is lovely because we all have that. We all have the space to do that. Right. But if you are doing that, then that changes the perspective of what I've got here for you. And what I think is that you're getting ready to sort of shed the feeling and the thought that you need to do more, right? That you need to do more. Not saying not work on yourself or not to continue, but I feel like you're putting in the work, and I don't know if you're hard on yourself about it or not. That's what I've got. Oracle card is the cedar tree, which is the wisdom. So that matched up with the King of Pentacles is why I said what I said. You have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you have the stable foundation. You know how this is going to go. And the last
be strong about it. I'm going to say be strong about it.
Yeah. We've got space. Okay. Beautiful card. And the message on here says, may your heart and your scope expand. So I feel like you need to bring those two things together, right? You need to remember that it's new. It doesn't have to be the same way that it was before. It can be the exact same thing on the menu, the exact same person, the exact same job, and it's not going to be the same because you're not the same, because you've put in the work, right? Yeah. Rely on the stable foundation that you've built for yourself.
I'm going to say absolutely rely on that one, because I've got a sense of nerves with that Ace of Cups now shuffled back into the deck, so don't stand a chance of finding it. It's almost like the cups being passed, and the reason it's spilling is of the shaking of the hands. You're a little bit nervous. Have faith that you do know what you're doing. Just be in control. Try and take a deep breath and be in control, because once you know that you're on the right path, and once you know that you're sending that generosity and you've taken that space, it will all become a lot calmer.
Yeah. I want to say, and I say this all the time, and I say this because it's the truth, not because I'm trying to be trite or because I'm trying to be dismissive. Old habits die hard. And if you are, have ever been in a habit of self-sabotaging or being very negative or very, sort of judging to your own self and your own actions, it may simply be a situation of that you are injecting all of that into the situation as opposed to try to see the possibility of it all, right? So thank you for asking the question, Hypnocity. Appreciate it. Joan B says, could I have a little reading? Just a little one.
Just a little one. Half a card.
just a little bit.
Of course.
Well, all right, Joan, since you asked so nice. Rosie, what do you think? Which deck should we use? The blue one? They're all blue. No. I'm kidding. They're not. All but one.
I'm going to have to break my own rule and use the guidebook, not because I don't know what the card means. It's I don't know who the goddess is on this card, and I don't want to get it wrong. So do bear with me while I want to make sure I get the right goddess with this card.
Absolutely. This is a challenge, friends. Shuffling with a dog on your lap who's attached to a leash, which is why I'm trying to get her to stay with me, because I don't, it's a training technique that I found online that if you have them on a leash while they are learning their way around the home, they can't get into anything. And I did not do that. And she was sick for 3 days in a row. So to aid her in sort of getting to know the lay of the land, we've put the leash on her, and today's the first day, and she's not loving it at all. She's not seeing the blessing in her situation. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay, so the card I got for you, the goddess card, is, and I'm not going to pronounce it, it's an Indonesian goddess. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I don't want to upset people, but it's a card for transcendence. It's a card for moving on. It's a time to level up, if you want to think about it in terms of that, Joan. However, the secret to leveling up is you need to put the effort in to actually get to that level. If you play a computer game, to level up, you have to put the hours and the work in to get your character to level up, to become onto the next level. And so I pulled 2 cards here from the tarot, which really makes some sense. I've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Wands for you here. So I want to know about the efforts that are going to have to be put in to get to this wonderful new level that you're going to go. Ace of Pentacles, as we know, is a fresh new start. And I think see it as a seed that needs planting. Ironically enough, I've been planting seeds today ready for the spring. So perhaps now is a really good time to not only plant your intentions, but if you can go and get something to do a bit of horticulture, perhaps plant a few seeds. Start thinking about preparing for the spring and the summer that's coming if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. You've also got the Page of Wands. Now, this, I find the Page of Wands possibly the most entertaining of the pages, and yet at the same time the most annoying, because this is a page who wants to have the attention the whole time. He's a bit like a child in the room, that when you've got a group of adults, the child keeps interrupting and everybody's focus is put on the child. That's not to say that that is you. You're not an irritating child, but what I'm saying is that the page learns how to improve, how to level up, by being in the moment, by asking the questions, to be the focus of the group. And so as you're thinking about making this move, plant those seeds, but also make sure you are in the moment, make sure you are asking the right questions. And when you need to, make sure you stand out from the crowd so that people take notice of your actions and what you're doing and the ways that you are improving yourself.
I don't know if all of you heard, but my dog is literally trying to chew my desk. Well, anyway, so what I got for you, Joan, is really lovely. Well, I think it's lovely. Hi, honey. Oh my God, is it 5 o'clock yet? Because I really need you to come home. The dog is awake and literally eating my desk as we're doing the live. Okay. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups showing up, Rose. Or not Rose, the dog is Rose, Joan Bees. I apologize. So sorry. Honey, please come home. The Ace of Cups showing up, Joan. The Ace of Cups is about friendships. It's about new opportunities, new beginnings. It's about, you know, things that make you feel good in your heart, the connection in your heart, the love in your heart, the blessings, that whole kind of vibe, right? On the bottom of the deck, I've got the 8 of Pentacles. This is mastering your craft. This is maybe trying to level up at work, or trying to get a promotion. It's maybe taking an extra class. It's paying attention to the details and really focusing on goals, right? In terms of that. It could even be about working on a budget. Maybe you're trying to plan for, you know, retirement or savings or something, and or going on a trip, and so you're really focused on that. So I pulled 2 oracle cards, and I've got the Lover's card here. And on the bottom of this card, what it says for the lovers is, there are 2 paths ahead. Be true to yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I pulled from the Coffee oracle, and I've got the Gate, which is opportunities and home. So I feel like And the dog feels very strongly about this. I feel strongly like you are working towards something, or if you're not aware that you're working towards something, there's an opportunity that's about to present itself to you. And I think that you're set up quite nicely to sort of follow that path. And I think that it's either going to bring you something. It's either something to do with work or something to do with like friendship, right? Whether it be romantic or platonic. I feel like you're setting yourself up for that. So that's what I get.
Lovely.
Yes. This is an interesting read. I'm now having my fingers licked. Do you know how hard Mommy's going to have to clean her cards after this? We're going to have a conversation.
Going to need training in the art of live readings.
Yes. Joan B says that is also very meaningful and helpful. Hi, Sharon Sipe. Thank you for being here. Hi. Okay. Listen, lady. Settle down. Oh, yeah. So yesterday, my husband, Mark, came in. He came in from work, and the dog literally barked at him like she'd never seen him before. And the day before that, I was saying that Mark was his favorite or her favorite person. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But anyway.
Now, you brought up Mark, and I just remembered our last conversation last time. Do you remember we talked about snowblowers?
Yes.
Is he still... Well, if it's going to be snowing with you, he's going to have to get his snowblower out again, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to have to get the snowblower out.
Does he put it away? Does it over summer somewhere in a shed or land? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And then he has to oil it and take it to
put gasoline in it and all sorts of things. Yeah.
We
can either have gasoline ones or electric ones here. Okay, listen. You have to be good. Do you want Daddy to come home? No reaction. No. No, you know what? It's funny that you say that, Joan, because he has my husband's always wearing like a baseball cap, and he puts his sunglasses on top of the visor of the hat. And I said to him, take off your hat and the glasses is probably freaking her out, right? Like that she can't make eye contact with you. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's not your fault at all. You weren't giving Daddy a hard time, were you? No.
Bang on, Ritchie.
All right. Lynn says, thank you, Kel. All right. And might we have a mini read? Whoop. Sweetheart, be careful. You're causing Mommy all kinds of stress. You're causing me all kinds of stress. Not because I can't operate with you on my lap, but because I'm worried that you're going to do something. Like to my desk again or something.
My animal, Basil, trying to jump in the middle of a reading we're doing alive. He's very quiet at the moment. I don't know where he's gone, but normally he likes to try and land on the middle of the cards and then knock the microphone. Yeah.
Well, like the cats. I mean, the cats are manageable. The reason that this little thing is not manageable is because she doesn't know yet what she can do and what she can't do. You know what I mean? Like right now, she's trying to eat the cards. Look. That's what she's trying to do to the cards. Honey, please don't be late tonight.
They say don't work with children and animals. I think we're proving this, aren't we?
Hey, listen. Thank you. She's like, no. How much fun are we having?
Oh, we're having a lovely time. I love this. I love reading with you. It's brilliant.
Well, I love reading with you, and I'm sorry that it's all discombobulated, but,
It's fine.
Hey, listen, you have to behave yourself, please. Can you please be a good girl for Mommy?
I thought you were talking to me then for a moment.
What's that?
So you're telling me to behave myself then for a moment.
No, not at all.
I'm actually doing quite well.
Yes, you behave too. Okay.
Right, this is in, isn't it?
Yes.
I pulled you the 9 of Swords to start off with, which again is never a lovely card to have, Lynn, so I do apologise for that one. But as we know, this is a card about mental health, being in perhaps a darker space than you would normally be, fears, worries, things keeping you awake at night. what we were talking about earlier, the pressures of the outside world and everything coming into play on that one there. So I then pulled an oracle card, and you got transformation. Again, a goddess who I'm not going to try and pronounce because I will murder the name of it. I don't want to be that rude, but it's the card of transformation. And I like this because then came out the Ace of Wands. And I really think that this is an opportunity for you, as we were discussing earlier, to take those fears and do something with them to actually turn them into something positive. Nine of Swords is very nearly at the end of the suit. The Ace of Wands is at the beginning. This is the air. This is the fire. You now have the air to stoke the fire, to get those thoughts, to get those processes moving, and actually turn them into something that's a creative tool that you can, turn it from something bad into something good. What that actually is, I can't help you there with that one, Helen, but I just think there's a really good time for you to take stock of what's happening and try and turn it on its head and make a real positive outcome from it all.
Sorry, she's slippery. She's sliding off my lap. Okay. Lynn, this is what I've got for you, love. In full disclosure, I pulled my oracle cards first. Actually, I didn't pull them. I just cut the deck and took whatever one I felt because I was trying to navigate the dog on my lap. And then for the tarot, I actually shuffled. And thank you, Spirit, for helping me out. it all works, which is good news. We start out with the Seven of Wands. So I'm not sure if you're feeling slightly challenged, or maybe you might be feeling a little off balance, like in terms of you need to sort of realign yourself, maybe do some meditation. You know what I mean? Like you might be a little resistant. That's my word for that is like prickly. I feel a bit prickly. Like I'm not really sure why, but I'm just kind of like, oof, you know what I mean? On the bottom of the deck, I've got the Temperance card. So, control and moderation will help to sort of bring that challenge to a place of sort of lesser challenge. If I know that's not proper English, but if that makes sense. So here we go with the oracle cards. We've got Behind a Mask. Okay, so to Ritchie's Nine of Swords, that's when I pulled that. So if there's something that is bothering you, something that has been I feel like you're something has happened and you're upset about it, but you've stifled it. You haven't said anything. You've been really quiet about it, kind of like put it behind you, or at least you thought you have, but it's really bothering you. And you're having a hard time sort of getting past it. Don't know if I'm right. That's just a thought. The next oracle card I have is Mountain and Setting Intentions. This is a great time to set an intention because it's, we're still you still have I think another day with the new moon where you have the ability to set intentions. Setting intentions is a great way to help you get past a challenging period. I will incorporate more exercise into my daily routine. I will XYZ, whatever the case may be, right? Always keep your intentions short, keep them very positive, and sometimes if you have a tendency to not be able to achieve your intentions or goals, try not to put a time frame on it. So for example, I want to lose 20 pounds in 2 months. Don't say it that way. I want to be more healthy. That way there, when you start to feel like you're swaying or you're sort of swerving away from that intention, you can reword it and bring yourself back into focus with it and bring it back to the forefront of your mind. Holy cow. The last card that I've got is Surrender to, can't read that backwards, the idea you can fix someone. So this message says, it's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. So I'm not sure if this is your healing or someone else's, but whatever the case may be, do not speak your truth if you feel that it is stifling your forward motion, right? Whether you release it, whether you journal about it, whether you meditate about it, or whether you speak it out loud to the person involved, you have to alleviate it from you so that you don't continue to carry it forward and it doesn't continue to stifle you, right? You need to make forward motion. So that's what I got for you. Hopefully that helps. Holy, I can't get my words out. Jeepers.
I have days like that. Most of the days I'm a bit like that.
Honestly, it's like I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Sorry. It's Rose.
I think Esther's gone. She did say earlier that she was.
Oh, she had to go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. It's a good thing someone's paying attention. Good Lord. JR is up next.
Hi, JR.
Hello, JR, my friend. Do you know that JR is one of my very first subscribers ever?
Wow.
And still hangs out with me. So
JR, come and subscribe to me too.
Aw. JR.
I'm sure already does.
Yes, of course. I should have done
that.
I should have done that. Sharon Sipe actually put your link in the chat.
Oh, don't worry.
I did not do it.
People will buy me if they're meant to.
Yes, please do show my friend some love. He's awesome. Subscribe to his channel. Give us a thumbs up. You know, all the good stuff that you got to do so YouTube keeps us where we need to be kept in the lifestyle we've become accustomed to.
Keep us in tarot cards.
Thank you, Sharon Sipe, for doing all of that.
Oh, Sharon, thank you.
Appreciate you, my friend. Hi, Amanda Carroll. All right, JR. Good girl, Rosie. Good girl. Laying on my lap like you meant to be there the whole time. Okay. Did I disturb you, darling? Sorry, Mommy shuffled.
Okay, shall I go?
Please do.
There's a lot of pentacles here, JR, for you. I've got you, and they came out in this order. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Pentacles. And I like the fact that they have come out in this order because I love a cartoon strip and reading graphic novels and things like that. So I quite often read tarot cards as if they're a bit of a cartoon strip. And when you look at it here, you can see that the Page here is holding this beautiful, shiny pentacle that he's just picked up from the apprentice who's been making these and refining them. And let's not forget that you have to put the hard work in. You have to do this bit to get the shiny, wonderful new pentacle that you can then take off and show off. So there's a real sense here of perfecting your art and then being really proud of what you have created and show it off. Because quite often, if you're anything like me, you might do something a little bit creative and go, that's no good. I'm no good at that. I'm not going to talk about that one. No, we should talk about what we create, what we do more, and be proud of our achievements. So I'm getting this vibe for you, JR, is you've put in the hard graft, you've done the hard work. Now be prepared to celebrate it, because the Page of Pentacles is still a page. He's still new to the whole idea, but this shiny new pentacle is going to spur him on to do more, to create more, to be more adventurous, to put more work in, more training in. And it's an ever-growing, wonderful tree of excitement. I don't know where the tree of excitement just came from. It popped into my head. But yeah, you've got this, oh, look at that. Wisdom, cedar tree. Fantastic. I did pull you a goddess card. You have got Rhiannon, who is enchantment. So again, look at the enchantment that's in your everyday. Look at what the magic is of creating something. Now, regardless of whether you think it's any good or not, that's magic, and enjoy it.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
By the way, I have another tree. I have two trees.
We can never have enough trees.
Actually, I have 3 trees. Sorry. Wait for all trees. No, I'm just kidding. But no, to your point about the trees, I mean, right, the enchantment, the loveliness, the strength that comes from a tree, all of those wonderful things that you can attribute when you think of trees, right? Sometimes those synchronicities should not be lost on us. Bye, Mama Bear. Have a good afternoon. Thank you so much. All right, JR, my friend, this is what I've got for you. We start out with the Seven of Earth, or the Seven of Pentacles. Investing in yourself, and I know that you have invested in yourself. You have put the work in, as Ritchie said, and I know that you have been doing that and will continue to do that. Sometimes we forget when we are going through a healing journey that it took us 30 or 40 years to recognize that we even needed to heal. And yet we want it to happen like that and be fixed. This is asking you to be patient with yourself. Be patient, like really patient. Every step is a step. And sometimes it feels like they are the smallest little steps ever, but it's still a step. We've got the Two of Air coming out, which is, it's indecision. It's like, I don't know what to do. And do I go left? Do I go right? Should I wear red? Should I wear purple? You know what I mean? It's all of that. It's avoidance. And avoidance breeds stress. When we procrastinate and put things off, we're actually making the situation worse for ourselves, but we think by not dealing with it, somehow we're protecting ourselves. And so be careful when you sort of feel like you may be putting something off. It's okay to say, I'm not ready to do it. I'm not ready to handle it, but don't just write it off completely because it feels uncomfortable. Try to work it out so that you can still do parts of it and still be comfortable at the same time. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Lover's card, right? So this is about choices. I feel very strongly you've got a choice about something that you're trying to make, some decision that you're trying to navigate. Now, the last three cards are Oracle cards, and they're beautiful. Two came out at the same time, so that's why I've got three, not because I'm a hog. We've got embracing. You've got to embrace this moment. You've got to embrace yourself, and you've got to embrace your personal strength because you're doing it. Like you're doing it. You're making something happen, and you're going somewhere. Don't forget the progress that you've made, right? Don't forget to celebrate that. We've got the cedar tree, as I mentioned, which is the wisdom. That is your wisdom. Don't forget you have it. Tap into it. Use it. Let it guide you. And then you've got the beautiful butterfly, which is regeneration. You're on your way, my friend. You are on your way. I literally feel like you're like at the gate. So imagine like a big, beautiful English country cottage, and you're at the gate. You got like the little walkway, and the door's right ahead of you. That's where I feel like you are. You're right there on the doorstep. Keep going, my friend. Tap into that strength, find it, embrace it, and let it guide you.
Lovely.
Beautiful. Love that for Jared.
Boom.
Boom. Mic drop. Boom. Yeah. No. Hi, Pierrette. Catherine W. is up. I would like reading.
Of course. I'm loving Catherine's photograph.
I know.
She's got lovely eyes, isn't she? Come and have a reading and lots of compliments aimed at you as well. It's lovely, isn't it? It's a good, positive vibe.
It is always a good, positive vibe. Here it does in cats when that kind of happens. And I don't think that it would have happened without our lovely conversation at the beginning.
No.
And not everyone can have those types of conversations. So I thank you for that.
I love conversations like that. I think it's very good to clear the mental fog that goes on in our own heads by talking about stuff. And, yes, I've known you several months now, Kelly. Never met you in person, but but the fact is that we can communicate and talk like that, perhaps because of that. Well, I might not talk to, close friends like in that way. It's interesting, isn't it?
I love that, though, that you're willing to do that with me. Because like I said, not everybody first of all, not everyone wants to put their stuff out there. Not everyone wants to share. And it's not always the easiest thing to do.
No. I'm going to do a quick riffle shuffle, so do excuse me a moment.
What? None of those allowed here. No, I do it all the time. It is what it is. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, the dog is sleeping on my lap now. Shh. Yeah. Do readings quietly, Kelly, sure. Shuffle the cards quietly. Have a conversation, but quietly.
I'm putting out all the cards for you here, Catherine, so that's why it's taking a little bit longer than usual. We're going to go for all of them today. Ooh, okay.
Well, that's an interesting card.
Okay, let's go with the two cards, the two oracle cards. So again, I don't know the goddess. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but it is the goddess that represents a fresh start, and I want to hang on that into our head for a little while, because you've also got the goddess Bridget. We've just had Imolk, and there she is, and that's the message to ignite and release your potential. So look how those two cards from goddesses are right there. Fresh start and reinvigorate, reignite, go for it. I've got for you the Six of Pentacles. And so I'm wondering what it is that you are considering or in the process of doing that is there to help people. Because I really think that you are making a real conscious effort to extend whatever resources, whatever knowledge, whatever you can to a individual or to a group of people. Now, that may be some form of fundraising, or it's maybe some form of charity, but it feels like you are giving quite a lot of your energy to a cause that you truly believe in. And I really like that one. And there's a really good sense about that. This is going to help with all the other cogs of the universe clicking in together, because the universe is just one big timepiece with lots of little cogs that all work together in synchronicity. And we talk about the universal synchronicity. So by doing this, you're going to have this fresh start, this reigniting. And I've got for you the Eight of Wands, which is a wonderful card when we're talking about fresh starts and igniting it, because this is a card about fastness. This is a card about communications. This is a card about, fasten your seatbelt. Things are gonna start rocketing, and it's a great, it's a bit like when you're going up that roller coaster and you're about to reach the top. You're gonna scream, but you're gonna have a wonderful time while you're on that ride. So it feels a really positive energy, and it is because you are putting so much into life that it's now time that life repays you by giving you these opportunities and this wonderful energy.
I like Ritchie's reading. I felt like I was getting my own reading. I love the way that you just worded that. That was so well done. Lovely reading for Catherine. Catherine, this is what I got for you, love. So we start out with the Ten of Fire. So I'm sort of picking up what Ritchie was saying, like you've been sort of putting your all into something. That's the energy coming in from the past. I don't know if it's... I feel like this is people. This is situational. I don't know if it's a relationship or work, but... I feel like it's people causing you stress. We'll just say that. We've got the Three of Fire, so the expansions, the goals, right? You've got the dream, you know what you want to do. I think you're, just like Ritchie said, I think that you're making strides of progress towards reaching that goal. But what I'm picking up is that there's like this stuff going on over here that you're trying really, really, really hard not to like focus on. You're trying to sort of put your boundaries up and trying to go like, okay, but it's starting to like seep itself in, and I think that may be something that you're having difficulty navigating, right? We've got the Four of Earth on the bottom of the deck. Four of Earth is an interesting card to me. Now, you know, a lot of people say it's like the miserly card, you know, holding things too close for your chest. Sometimes it's about control, right? Do I spend too much, or do I not spend any of it, right? Like, where's that fine line? Where's my happy medium in that scenario? And that can be applied to a lot of things, right? So you're really sort of sitting there doing this. Like that total kind of look, like, what do I do? Right? Do I go for it or don't I? Is it worth it or is it not? Like that kind of thing, right? Okay, so these two cards came out together. These are the Power of Surrender cards. The first one is surrender your desire to control people. Now, everyone feels some sort of way when the word control starts to be thrown around, but this is twice now that you have the word control, right? Being overly controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, try to regroup and give the situation some breathing room. So if someone is perhaps providing you with their insight or their judgment as to, you know, what you should or should not do with your own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and situations, and you're trying to navigate that, it feels like it's like what you're doing is not really working for you. It's not really serving you because they're over here still like chattering away and it's bothering you, but you're trying to like hold it off, right? So you're trying to control that situation. The next one that came out is surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, then move forward. So in other words, using your intuition and your inner wisdom that we all have to navigate situations. I'm a single mom with 3 teenagers. Okay. And you got all kinds of situations going on in your house. The next card we have is the Owl. Okay. And the keyword on it is sight. Detach your emotions from the situation that you cannot control. So that's 3 controls, right? So if a situation is happening and you want to do or want to say something and you're having difficulty doing it, try to remove the emotions from it. Like I was saying before, instead of looking at it, maybe try looking at it from a different perspective so that you can see a clear way of navigating through it, right? And the last card I got was purity. Oh. You have a pure heart. And I think that if you let your heart sort of guide you by infusing, you know, love into the situation, coming from a place of love, not saying that you're coming from a place of criticism, but as a reminder not to come from a place of judgment or criticism, that's going to really, really assist you in dealing with this with whatever these situations are. So I hope that resonates. And thank you for asking the question. Oh, Sharon Sipe says we're getting a lot of snow in Wisconsin. Me too. Which it seems weird because I'm in Canada and every time someone's like, it's snowing, I'm like, yeah, me too. I mean, everybody knows it. Well, people think it snows here all year. So it seems weird.
Now, I know it doesn't because Mark puts his snowblower away for 6 months of the year. See, it's not just arrow on here. It's learning. I'm learning so much. You see,
but prior to that, Ritchie, prior to the snowblower conversation, did you know that?
Yes.
We'll see. All right. At least
I'm going to just say something. I know we've got people coming out. My knowledge and geography of anywhere North America, Canada, that area, it's absolutely rubbish. I only know where certain states are if I've visited them, and we're never actually taught in English schools about actual places of people. We know where Europe is and the countries there, So when
Well,
people
that's good
talk
that
about
you know where that is.
yeah, the bits that's near to us. So when people go, Wisconsin, I'm like, I haven't a foggiest clue. It might as well be Narnia you're talking about.
It's there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you know where I am on the map?
You're on the top
North
bit, aren't you?
I'm in the top bit. Jeez, wow, thank you. So, where I am, just for geography purposes only, where the Great Lakes are, I am around the Great Lakes.
Okay.
And if you think about the Great Lakes are awesome because they help you with Canada and with the US, right? So if you look at the Great Lakes, you've got Manitoba, Ontario, a little bit of Quebec, then you go down to like New York, Buffalo, and Michigan. All of those are around the Great Lakes. Lovely. See, little lesson.
Thank you. That's very helpful. I will try and learn.
Isn't it?
Because I do a lot of work with Gerald, I know where Ohio is. I kind of have to work everything out around that. And California and Florida and Ohio somewhere in the middle. And I have to
somewhere.
Somewhere
in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle.
Well, it's funny because I feel like I learned geography best sort of attacking it like a puzzle. Yeah. Right. Fill in the perimeter first and then go to the middle bits.
I used to have puzzles, again for Europe and where they had the different counties and countries and you put them in. So that's how I know that part. And then of course lots of places in Europe changed over whilst I grew up, and I never caught up with it. When I learned there was Yugoslavia that no longer exists and all those places. So constantly having to relearn, but that's good.
Learning is fun, my friend. My mother always said knowledge is power.
And your time changes, doesn't you? Go into summertime quite soon.
Yeah. That's
going to confuse me because I know you've always been 5 hours behind, and now you're going to be 4 for some of it, aren't you?
Here's what happens. We spring forward and we fall backwards. And that's how we know what we're doing. So in the springtime, we go forward an hour. And in the fall, we go behind an hour, if that's proper terminology. And that's just so that we can have more daylight.
Yeah. Oh, we do the same, but we don't go on the same time that you go on.
Oh, really?
That's the problem. Yeah. So for a little while, you're going to be 4 hours behind.
Yeah.
Until the UK goes somewhere in March, sometime end of March.
And you know what else you guys do that's weird? Sorry.
Drink tea constantly. Have bad teeth. What is it?
No. You all celebrate Mother's Day like some other weird
different day. Yeah, but it's not called Mother's Day.
What's it called?
Mothering Sunday.
Mothering
Sunday.
That's a weird name.
It was apparently the time it started in believe in Victorian times when they would have had houses with servants in it. So I think Downton Abbey, and it was one of the Sundays where the staff were allowed to go home, see their.
Oh, how nice!
Yeah. So, but it's a different day, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like my cousins in England. Well, it's, Happy Mother's Day, and I'm like, I don't know what calendar you're looking at, but it's like not for another 2 months.
It's always when the daffodils come out, so it's just a bit before Easter, so it's March time. Yeah.
Right.
When's Mother's Day for you then?
May.
May.
I think it's like this, either the first Sunday in May or the second Sunday in May, and then Father's Day is in June.
Yeah, Father's Day is. Yeah.
That's so weird. Mothering
weird?
Sunday. It's like the strangest name ever.
It's not.
I don't know why it's weird. It's only weird because I'm not used to it. That's why it's weird. Speaking of being judgmental, Kelly, hello.
We have to get used to it if you're going to come over to the UK and find all your ancestors and relatives.
Yeah.
Okay. It's for Lisa, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, it took a long time getting there. Let's sort this one through.
Only like building up our Lisa's curiosity.
Okay.
Hi, Pierrette. Hey, Pierrette, how's the weather where you are, my friend? Hi, Terry. It's been a long time since I seen you, my friend. I was trying to send you an email, Terry, and I could not figure out your email off of your page. And I would love it if you could send me an email. My email is under the description box of this video. So if you wouldn't mind, send me an email. Please and thank you. Sorry, Ritchie. I apologize. I'm networking.
No, that's fine. I'm sitting here just trying to think about these cards because there's something quite unusual that's happened here.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to put it together. Let me show you the situation, and it might come again. So I've pulled you 2 tarot cards, and we've got the Chariot, and we've also got the 6 of Wands. Now, to me, these cards both speak of victory, but from perhaps a difficult situation.
Yeah.
I never normally think of the Chariot as being something to do with like war, but I'm thinking here, it feels like they've come back from a war or they're about to enter a conflict or something. And I've never actually had these 2 cards in a combination together. So I'm actually really interested how the images work together. So it's positive. It feels like if there's a situation that has come about that has caused friction, has caused perhaps negative energy, it's now time that energy is moved on and that you now not necessarily take the high road on it, but come out as something successful from it. Now, the reason I then paused is I pulled an oracle card, bearing in mind what I've just said about going into battle and stuff like that. And you wouldn't believe it. I've got the goddess Athena, and look how she's dressed in battle with shield. So it all works really well together, doesn't it? There's a real sense, and I'm hoping you're picking up on this, is that there's a real sense of the wisdom, and that's what the meaning of Athena is here. The wisdom that comes from going through a struggle, going through a war, and I'm using it in those terms of whatever it is that is causing us obstacles or difficulties, but coming out victorious, coming out carefully. Now, again, the other thing that always worries me a little bit with this card that some people don't pick up on is that for somebody to be victorious from a conflict means that there has to be a losing side as well, and they are not represented in this card. We only see the glory, we only see the cheering and the confetti and somebody riding in on a horse. So always be, even when you are winning, remember that there is always somebody who is on the flip side of that, and it is time to show a little bit of kindness and a bit of support. Again, you've got your wisdom in there, and I think this makes perfect sense. You've come through the storm, you've won, and now you're going to be thinking about the process, what you've learned, and taking this new energy, this new resource that you've got, and using it well. And it's a lovely card. It's a lovely set of cards. It's very positive. There's, I love Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare. And there's a quote from Measure for Measure that I often use. It's an unknown little quote, and it is, "'Tis excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant." And that's one of my favorite quotes and one that I live by. It's great to have all the power and to be winning and be on the right side, but make sure you don't become a monster yourself. And I'm not suggesting you will, Lisa, but make sure that power doesn't go to your head. And that quote reminds me of those cards.
Beautiful. My dog has woken up
again.
Whoop! And now you've knocked. Honestly, how could you possibly have done that? We're in a room by ourselves, and she's managed to tie herself up. So, Lisa, I start out with the Tower card, Now, the Tower card in this deck, obviously, Tower card is the Tower card. And everyone usually freaks out over the Tower card. In this deck, I like the words on the bottom of the card. Remember that this is energy coming in from the past. So this is something that's already happened, right? It is a realization, it is life change, and it is liberation. So if you were imagine being held by hostage by a situation or an issue, the Tower moment will occur and you will literally break free from that. So it's not necessarily a negative, right? Currently, right now, I have the 9 of air. So this is worry. This is negativity. This is, things keeping you up at night. The outcome card is lovely with the 6 of air showing up. The 6 of air is moving away from troubled waters towards a safer harbor or safer shores. So whatever you went through, you're processing, and the outcome is that you're getting to the end of it, right? You're getting to the point where you're able to put it behind you and move past it, which is lovely. The overlying sort of vibe for this is the 7 of earth, which is taking assessment, taking stock of the situation. How do you feel? What did you do? How did everyone sort of, play their roles? And asking you to be patient with the people involved and with the situation itself, also with yourself, right? Now, I pulled a whackload of oracle cards because that's what I do. The first card I got is deception. So I'm not sure if someone has hurt you, if you feel that someone has hurt you in some way, if someone, did some backstabbing or some talking behind your back, or it's just that vibe of sort of like, if, you know what I mean? And only you know if that's true or not. And oftentimes we know that stuff is going on before we're even sort of, before we have knowledge that it's been going on, right? Mm-hmm. I got this card here, speaking of people with shields. Oh. Surrender to your full power. Okay. And that is, your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. So as you approach that safe harbor, right, as you're taking stock and assessing the situation, this is a time for you to step up and step into your power and be able to display your full power, right? In other words, grab life with gusto is what I want to say. And the last card that I've got here is Ocean, which is the waves, which is just a beautiful card. Now, the thing about the waves is sometimes they can be very tranquil, very serene, very calming, very peaceful. Other times they can be frantic and chaotic. But you have to ride the wave, right? You can't have one without the other. And I sort of love that part of this message, because you've got 2 cards that speak to you about riding waves, right? Mm-hmm. So navigate, obviously cautiously, in terms of listening to yourself and knowing, the people around you and the situations that you're going into, but allow yourself to have a little room. It's like having a dog on a leash, right? You give them so much leash to explore, but you're still maintaining control. So it's like a healthy boundary, a healthy distance. Do you know what I mean? So that you can protect yourself. Does that make sense? I think that's how you're going to regain your full power, because you're building up trust within yourself again, that you can navigate any situation thrown in front of you. That's what I think that this is about. So I hope that makes sense, Lise. Yay.
Lovely.
Friends. Hi, Kiba. By the way, we have reached the conclusion of Chat and Cards, or Cards and Chat with Longman Tarot. For this
it's whizzed by, hasn't it?
It has.
2 hours.
It has whizzed by.
I could do this all day. I probably couldn't at some point. I'd need to go and have
You would
something
need
to
to be fed and watered, would you? Ritchie, what is coming up for you, my friend? Where can people find
Oh,
you?
my word. So much, Kelly. So much. I've left my planner over there, but let's see if I can remember it. So Friday, I have the lovely Candy from Candy Soul and Soil on my channel at 7:30 UK time. So that's 2:30 Eastern time. And we're discussing journaling, which is a subject that I am fascinated with because I am useless at it. And I know Candy is a fantastic artist, makes all sorts of wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things out of everything. And I'm really looking forward to having a go at journaling and talking to her about it and getting some really good ideas. So I'm really super excited, as you can tell, about that. And then next week, I'm not doing a live myself because I am practically in every other person's channel next week. I am with Robin from Toadstool Tarot on Monday, and I can't remember what time that is. I am with Gerald on Tuesday with Jamie, and I'm asking the questions for his back and forth series. So I get to ask Gerald and Jamie all sorts of personal questions. And then Thursday, and this is super exciting because it's taken 2 years to actually organize, I'm going to be with Elemental Cartomancy Chris Kelly, and he's going to do a live table, round table reading live with me on Thursday evening UK time. So you can see I've got oodles of things on.
Sounds like, my friend. I'm sorry. It's very hard to be serious when you're getting a wet willy from your puppy.
It's fine. What about you? What have you got coming up?
Well, I was just going to say, I'm sort of asking everyone's patience, as I navigate this challenging time with my, with what's going on with my sister and this young, beautiful girl here. The schedule is a little all over the place. And so obviously I'm honoring the things that I did before all of these situations occurred. But I probably won't be booking anything new for a bit. But having said that, 6 p.m. tonight, I'll be on Heart and Soul Connected with Ali and a bunch of other guests talking about the February 22nd, Power of Two. And on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, back here at Dozen Cats, it is Chat and Cards with the S Team, which I said in the beginning, Spirit Intuitive, which is Lisa, the Soul Sisters, EQ from there, and Gerald from Tarot Stash will join me. And then on Sunday at 7:30 p.m., we have Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium, joining us, and I'm most excited about that. It's been about a year since she's been here to the channel, and I just really, really enjoy her energy. So I look forward to that. So I hope you guys make sure that you check off your notification bells so you don't miss anything.
Yeah, do. It's going to be busy, 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 isn't it?
Busy, busy, busy.
And of course, now you need to come back to my channel, Return Visit.
We will discuss on the other side, my friend.
We'll discuss, absolutely. But
all right, friends. Show my friend Ritchie some love if you're not already subscribed to his channel. He is a fantastic reader. He is a exceptional human being, and he's my friend. So, thank you, Ritchie, for being here.
Thank you, Kelly, for having me.
Thank you, Rose. All right, friends, have yourselves a wonderful day, and we wish you many blessings until we see you again. Bye for now.